Years ago, while heading home from New York City, I witnessed something truly beautiful on a very early morning ride on the Long Island Railroad. Or so I thought. A young 20-ish girl, very prim and proper, was sitting next to her absolute opposite. My initial thought was, Hitch, I love this city. Where else would these two people find each other and fall in love? It's the romantic in me. When we all transferred to the Sky Train, he grabbed her luggage and we all got into the same car together. Then I noticed that she didn't look at all comfortable. In fact, she kind of looked terrified. So when our eyes finally met, I mouthed to her, "Are you okay?" She shook her head no. The man with her was a very large, well-built man, easily 25 years my junior. So I immediately started doing the calculations, imagining the worst. A new pair of glasses would cost me, $160, $180, something like that. But I had no idea what the medical expenses would be. A broken jaw, perhaps, a few broken ribs, a concussion. Maybe I'd need an MRI. Maybe worse. Suddenly, the man stood right up in front of the girl, pulled his body very close to hers, put his hands on top of her head, and began running his hands down her body. I jumped up without a thought, put my hand on his shoulder, which had the size and consistency of a bowling ball, and said, "Hey, let's leave the girl alone. Can't you see she's terrified?" He said nothing. He just looked at me with eyes as dead as I had ever seen. I told the girl to come with me, and we moved to the other end of the car. He followed us, but fortunately that's all he ever did. I got her through the terminal into the TSA line and then grabbed someone from security to make sure that she got through all the stopping and frisking safe and sound. I tell this story not to make myself the hero. I simply found myself in a situation which was, as the millennial messiah would put it, intolerable to my conscience. Such a thing is not unusual. I end up watching a lot of videos here on YouTube showing folks rescuing or saving people and animals in all kinds of situations, many of them risking life and limb to help another sentient creature. Often it's pure instinct. Sometimes it's the sheer empathy of imagining oneself in the same situation and knowing how grateful you'd be to have someone's help. Whatever the case, most of us will make an effort to stop something bad from happening. Someone being bullied or mugged right in front of us. A young child being molested, or even someone doing something undesirable to you. If you have the power to stop it, you do what you can, even if there's a potential risk to your own health and well-being. Right? Right. Of course, obviously. But doing so would be ungodly behavior. This is not how the all-powerful, all-knowing, all-loving God of the universe behaves, according to those following the tribal war god of Abraham. That being stands back and allows it all. Or as Pine Creek Doug would say, causes it all, as the all-knowing creator of everything. Genocide, rape, murder, child molestation. Grab the popcorn, hit the Barca-Lounger, pop that footrest, and enjoy the show. This was Dumbold Trump's modus operandi nearly 4 years ago, when he sat back and watched a violent mob overrun Capitol Police and temporarily shut down the peaceful transfer of power. With all the power in the world to stop it at any minute. Dumbold Trump instead sat back and watched for hours, while American patriots were taking down names and kicking ass.
Today is the day American patriots start taking down names and kicking ass.
Now he'll tell you that he told his people to protest peacefully and patriotically. He did, that's true. But he also told them that if they didn't fight like hell, they wouldn't have a country anymore. This again is exactly how the tribal war god of Abraham behaves. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Now go and murder all the people in Canaan so that you can steal their land. It's called plausible deniability. Well, I did tell them not to murder or steal. If you told your son to go take out the trash cans peacefully and patriotically, and then saw him out the window beating the crap out of your neighbor, with a Confederate flag no less, would you just stand back and stand by watching it all? Of course not. He's doing the exact opposite of what you instructed. But if you also told him that, son, you have to fight like hell to get those cans to the curb, or we're not going to have a house anymore, you might feel a little pride. Just like the tribal war god of Abraham, Dumbold Trump also ignored the prayers of those who love him. At 2:53 p.m. on January 6th, his son, Don Jr., texted Mark Meadows, "He's got to condemn this shit. ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough." Meadows texted back, "I am pushing it hard. I agree." Meadows received text from Republican members of Congress, former and current administration officials, media personalities, friends, and family, all begging to have him stop and condemn the violence. Trump ignored them all. So many people were injured that day, both rioters and police. People died. And just like the tribal war god of Abraham, Dumbold Trump sat back watching with all the power in the world to make it stop. Hundreds of his own people have now been convicted on felony charges. Many will be serving prison sentences for years to come, some for decades. Many people have had their lives entirely destroyed. Needlessly. Do you understand now why evangelicals love him so? Dumbold Trump is just like the God they worship. He is indeed a man of God, and perhaps the chosen one, as he claims.
I am the chosen one.
Which is why Dumbold Trump can never again sit behind the resolute desk. With the Supreme Court's ruling on presidential immunity, we can't afford another all-powerful being in our lives who sits back watching and feigning impotence while people suffer. Once again, I'm me. Thanks for watching.
I am the chosen one.
Hey gang, thanks again for watching. Boy, I have really been taking a pounding lately, and not the good kind. I should really have this begging segment ready to go every 4 years because it happens. It happens like clockwork. Every election cycle, I feel compelled to start making a little more political content because of the election and everything. And then people who have professed their undying love for my counter-apologetics work tell me that I need to die a slow and painful death. My dog, too, and my daughter, and my grandson, everybody basically in my family. Friends, too. And sooner rather than later. Which makes no sense because the first 4 videos I post to Patreon each month are always counter-apologetics videos, so people can just set a limit and then they never have to support my stupid political views. But, I don't know, I guess some people are hypersensitive to my calling Trump and his supporters a tiny little mushroom dick. Mothers can't even feel it. #snowflakes. So if you can afford to, head over to patreon.com/Mr. Deity and become a patron. You'll get blessings, indulgences, front row seats to the apocalypse, multiple chances to make a first impression, a self-authenticating way to know that what you want to be true is true, plus you'll get all of these videos early and uncensored. You're not going to find a deal like that anywhere else, so go now before this offer expires. And to everyone who's already helping out in whatever way, you know what I'm going to say? Thank you, 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 especially to my beloved patrons. And I'll see you real soon. You'll see me too.